Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and on this 4th of July holiday, in remembrance of all of the great men and women that fought and lost their lives, protecting Old Glory and the freedoms that it endowed by our Creator in this beautiful country. No matter what Lord and Savior you follow, the Muslim religion, the Jewish religion, the Judeo-Christian religion, Orthodox Christian, Catholic, Catholicism, whatever it may be, Buddha, whatever God you have that you pray to in this great land that we call the United States of America, this day is for all of us. This day was endowed and given freedoms, inalienable rights by our Creator on the day this country was born. And you ask the question, and people often forget why religion is so important in this country. It is not that you agree or you follow or you preach an individual religion. It is that no matter what religion you are, no matter what you believe, the freedoms in this country were given to you by God. And people say, well, why is that important? Because it's important. And the reason our founders of this great nation, yes, it is still a great nation, even though it is under siege and under attack, the way it's been for hundreds and hundreds of years, since even before this great country was created. It was under attack by those that would look to enslave, impoverish, and control you. Is the fact that God gave you these rights, because if God gives you the rights of freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, no man can take away what God gives you, no matter what God you pray to, whether you wear a turban, whether you wear a cross, whether you are in the Judeo-Christian religion, whether you are a Jew, whether you are a Muslim. It does not matter. We are all one, and those freedoms by God were given to you, so man cannot take it back away. But if you look at what goes on in this country, we continue to be attacked. We continue to try to be conquered, and they continue to try to strip and wither away and stripe away our freedoms. And you must not ever forget what we are doing here in this country. And you must continue to fight for that old glory, beautiful flag that stood up there with great men and women of freedom that fought to keep this great land free and to set it apart from the dictators and the oppressors of the Far East, right? And that is very important, and you guys must remember that on this day, this beautiful day, the glorious day of the 4th of July, great America's birthday, the true America's birthday. And you must never stop, and you must never relinquish the fight. And anyone that looks to strip away your freedoms, you must frown upon, you must call them out, and you must expose them and fight them at all costs, because the fighting for freedom never ends. It is the hardest thing you can ever have to keep. It is to keep freedom. It's easy to get and earn freedom. It is that much harder to keep it and push it down generation and centuries and millenniums down the road, because it is always under attack. They're subverting and overting our great nation, and we must stand up, as you're seeing around the country. We're standing up, we're fighting, we're taking no prisoners, and we're not holding silent anymore. The silent majority is now becoming loud and now becoming proud, and we're going to go out there and fight, and we're going to continue the great fight for this great nation, so I can continue to make great videos like this, because in other countries, you're not allowed to speak your mind. You're not allowed to have a free press, and this is my free press. I own Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Therefore, I decide what goes on here. I decide what you can say. I decide what is allowed to perpetrate and propagate my channel, because this is my free press, just as you can start your own free press on any social media platform, any public printing press. You can print stuff off your own laptop and mail brochures out across this great nation, and that is your free press, and that is your freedom of expression. You have that right, and we must protect it. And old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, for better or worse, for just like my crypto sphere, when I give you the cold hard facts and truth, I don't care if it suppresses my own station, and it could be, as some people say, I'm sabotaging my own station by the way I talk about crypto. Is the same way we talk about freedom, whether it's unpopular and you don't believe what I have to say because you have been brainwashed and manipulated to believe freedom is bad and communism is good. We will never back down with that. We will, even at the own sacrifice of this great station, we will continue to promote freedom, continue to promote liberty, and continue to promote freedom under the great Lord as I am a Christian slash Catholic. We go by Jesus, but if you are a Muslim in my audience, Muhammad, pray to him every hour if that's your religion. If you're a Jew, pray to Judaism, right? You continue to pray, you continue to fight, and you continue to hold freedom amongst and above all, just below God, whatever God you may pray to. Even if you are an atheist, well, if you're an atheist, you don't have any freedom because man, as you say, gave you freedom, so another man can vote away that freedom. You must promote freedom, you must promote God, you must promote love, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and love thy neighbor, not hate thy neighbor. Protect thy neighbor, not hurt thy neighbor, right? Protect the people that can't be protected, and push away and fight the people that look to oppress the people that can't protect themselves under this great nation. And that's why we're going to celebrate with an extravaganza all afternoon, the great 4th of July in this great nation, right? But as we move on from that, you also must look at things that are going on this crypto sphere. You guys are missing out. There's more than just crypto. A lot of you guys have been stacking crypto in this whole bear market, and all the coins have been going down, and there's nothing wrong with that if you believe long term that the crypto you hold is the crypto you should have, so you continue to buy. But as you're waiting for crypto to come back to $1 million, $5 million, or $10 million, whether that can happen, I don't believe it'll ever happen with the Bitcoin price. You're missing out on great opportunities across the marketplace that have real assets, that have real value, and that make a product that people need. And you're missing out on certain things that I believe that you're not looking at because you're stuck in the crypto sphere thinking that everything else is going to zero or everything else is going to continue to crash, and only crypto can give you that generational wealth that you're looking for. But there are diamonds in the rough, even in an overinflated market like we were talking about Rivian yesterday. It ended up 17.41% up. It closed at $19.56. And this thing is a new company, not new, but they're new to the stock market by a couple of years. And what we were telling you with the crypto sphere here, we were telling you not to buy this, even though we were telling you this would be a great play when it came public. It was too high. The IPO price was too high, right? And now the price is down here after a beautiful swing. God, every time I do this, it just likes to start doing that. But it had a beautiful swing bottom. All the shorts, right? When you have short sellers, they're buying. They're fronting somebody else the price, the shares at $180. And they're gambling that when they buy it back from that guy, it's going to be cheaper, and they make the spread. So if they sell it to person A at 180 and they buy it back from person A on the short sell at 80, they make the spread, which is $100. But then immediately that turns that sell that he took here to put downward pressure on it, all the selling, the short selling that he did when he goes to buy it, and he goes to take profit now after a 94% flush, that sell turns into a buy as he buys it back from that Charlotte, that unsuspecting man that got fleeced and manipulated up here. He buys it back from him at $15, and that turns it into a sell. That turns it his short sell into a buy, and that turns it into a buy order, which triggers buying power. And then, as I told you yesterday, the price starts to come up on a 15, 20, 30% short squeeze where all the short sellers are taking profit. It turns the price up. The retail trader interprets that as positive momentum, and they want to jump in on the hype train, baby. And I think this price over the next 3 to 6 weeks, especially as they do earnings August 8th, I think you're going to end up back in this blue trading zone. And I think it's a phenomenal trade, and I think this will be a phenomenal long-term hold, as Rivian, I believe, will succeed, even as some of like Lucid, Nikola, and some of these other companies are going bankrupt or attempting bankruptcy or mergers to try to restructure under Chapter 15 or whatever that one is, so they can just restructure their debt so they don't go bankrupt. Rivian, I don't believe, will be in that situation. Rivian, I believe, will be a high flyer one day. And Rivian, like many other things in the marketplace, you are missing out on because your crypto guy that you're watching, and this is what separates old Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, is we don't just only go in the crypto sphere. We go into the stock market, we go into the commodities, we go into the housing market, we go into the Federal Reserve, and we go all across the board in any asset that there is to have a well-rounded understanding of what's going on in the sphere of the investment world when you're trying to get your asset acquisition. And you have to understand that there's more than just the crypto sphere. And if you're trapped in Bitcoin for the last 2 years, as Bitcoin has went down, even at current price still, Bitcoin is down 54%. after a huge rally when it was down about 70%. You're missing out on a lot of things that are going on around here because you were stuck in the crypto sphere, only thinking that this is the way you could get rich, when many other assets went up 1, 2, 3, or even 4x itself, while crypto was going down 60, 70, 80, and even 90%. And unfortunately, what's going to happen to a lot of you is if you're in the wrong coin, if you're not in the right coin, the coin that you own will never come back to its old all-time highs, as most of these coins are starting to zero out now. All the shyster coins, the ones that were just momentum plays, the ones that had no utility, and the ones that were getting promoted by paid promoters to swift and fleece and heist you with these scumbags that are out there like Big Boy Crypto and Carl from the Moon with the token. They were fleecing you with these peep coins. They were fleecing you with this Luna, the Luna 2.0, the Celsiuses, the 3 Euros Capital, the FTX coins, the Bitfinex, the B-Connect, and the rest of them. You have to understand what's actually going on, and you have to understand there's more to the crypto sphere than just crypto. You have to look at everything else, or you're going to miss out as stocks that pay dividends will 1, 2, 3, and even 4x while you're sitting here holding a bag, and you missed out on 100% return, 500% return, 1000% return because you lost 99% in shyster coins and you didn't understand what was actually going on. But in the Bitcoin price on this holiday weekend, we're trying to get back above this critical $30,000 in the bottom part of this red trading zone, which is the VP volume indicator in the weekly time frame. If we go to get some more candlesticks, to get some more data, to get a little bit more insight, if you're looking at the Bitcoin price, what you're looking at here on this holiday weekend is you need to hold where you're at now and need to get back above and start to build that base and try to make your run up towards that $39,000 right up at the top part of this red trading zone, 39,211 and 32. If you start to get rejected by this uptrending resistance that used to be lower support in this rising channel, you're going to come back down to this 29,075.23, and that would be the major spot you have to hold, or else you could get instantly rejected down to 19,100 in a big flush. But if you can continue to build this base, continue to hold this red trading zone, you could try to make a nice pump to the upside, and that's what we're looking at in the Bitcoin price. The XRP price is the same thing. It consolidated once again off this area. It got rejected like we were thinking it could, and now it's trying to hold the 200-day in green and the 100-day in blue as the moving averages have went parallel, and they're tightening, constricting like a snake. And when they constrict and they tighten, that means the volatility is getting ready to explode again, and there's going to be a great volume spike. And will that volume spike pump you to the upside, get you back into this 50 cents? And if it gets you back into this 50 cents at the bottom part of this blue trading zone, you can try to make it up all the way up here like we've been watching for several months to that 68 cents. If not, you're going to get instantly rejected, instantly pushed back, and instantly knocked back down, unfortunately, all the way down to this 31 cents. But we're going to continue to watch that and continue to hone in on what's exactly going on after we had that hyper pump out of this symmetrical triangle back here, which was a neutral continuation pattern. Now we got ultimately bullish for the first time since this station came out in XRP, and had a target up here and then told you it would get harshly rejected. And now it could be forming an untopping reversal pattern or a mountain double top, which is a bearish pattern. Or you could say this is another symmetrical triangle that's going to attempt to break out to the upside. And if it did, the upside would be up here at 68 cents. And that's what we're going to try to watch out for you. But this is some of the stuff we're talking about where you've been fleece heisted and shysted and you've lost all your money and you've missed out, right? On a whole bunch of things. Apple making 52-week highs. Amazon 50% up from its correction. Intel 30 to 50% up from its correction. NVIDIA three-bagged it from its correction. It corrected 54%. NVIDIA three-bagged it since it's 3x itself to an all-time high. Why a lot of you were fleece heisted and shysted in Luna, the original Luna that went to fucking zero. And then they came out with Luna 2.0. And even after Luna went from $100 to zero, you assholes and you charlatans that were not thinking and you were acting like that dinosaur down there. See that fucking dinosaur down there? You guys still bought this pile of shit. And I remember in the comment section, you guys were still telling me that this was a good coin. And I tried to tell you it was going to zero out, and it's getting close. It's not at zero yet, but eventually those will all be zeros because this is one big shyster coin. And I don't understand why any of you bought Luna or Luna 2.0 after it went bankrupt. DGB. This is another one that I was telling you guys that it was all a momentum play. This coin really has no utility. And I know a lot of you like these kind of coins, and it was just like the beginning of my station, what I was telling you, whether it be better or for worse for my station, I'm going to shoot you straight like Shooter McGavin. And I told you this thing would come pretty close to zeroing out if it didn't go to zero. And this thing, even after a 30% run over this holiday weekend, it is still down from its old all-time high when, if you can even believe this fucking thing, this pile of garbage. And I'm sure in the comment section I'll get some hate because I got hate when I told you this coin would go down 99%. It went down at its swing low so far, 96.36%. And even after a 30% rally, it's down 94.51% from its all-time high. I told you this thing was going down. This was a big rising channel. A technical target was all the way at the bottom of the channel. It nearly eclipsed that. And unfortunately, people that are holding this from up here and think it's eventually going to hit a new all-time high, unfortunately, I think it's going to continue down and get closer and closer to 0.0 than it does getting back up here to 16 cents, right? And that's something you got to pay attention to. Same thing with ZIL. We told you this thing was going down 90 to 100%. And you can see even after ZIL had this recent rally up here, just like this line says that I'm about to delete, I believe the next major flush in ZIL, and all you people that got shysted up in here and the momentum play in 2021, 2020, and couldn't keep your head straight and were blinded by the momentum, blinded by the advertisement, blinded by the paid promoters, and you've been fleeced, and you're down 94% on its low, and at current price you're down 92.38%. And it's not just that you're down 92.38% when you get trapped into some of these shyster coins, it's you're missing out. That capital that you put in there cannot produce any more money into any other sections of the investment world that is profiting right now, because you're trapped down 90%, and that capital, whatever it is, might be the only capital you had to try to make money work for you. It's stuck here and it's missing out because you can't take advantage of opportunities that are around you because you were fleece heisted and shysted. The same thing with XDC. XDC is still very expensive right now. And you say, what do you mean expensive? It is still very, let me get these off of here. We need to get the more beautiful ones. It's still very expensive, even though it's down. Let's get our beautiful price notes out here. Even though it's sitting down here on the constricting moving averages, text, we're going to make that black. It's still, even though it's sitting down here and it's coming from an 18 cents, if you can believe DGB, and if you go figure out how many coins there are here, there's probably a shitload of them. It's down at current price 82%, and it's been down as much as 88%. And unfortunately, on its next major move, its next major momentum spike, its next major volume push, even if you get a little bit of an upsell, I think your next major move is coming all the way down into this range. And you can mark this down now with XDC. We're going to put another box in here live. I think this is where your next major move, your next major volume play comes in. I think it brings you all the way down into this oh fuck zone, in this get my shit together zone in orange. Unfortunately, for people that own this, could I be wrong? I could, but have I been wrong more than I've been right? Absolutely not. I believe your next major move, your next major push, the next major time this volume comes in, I believe XDC has got an 82% flush coming, because this is another zero utility coin. The same as SoFi. Unfortunately, people still believe that this was the next bull market. This was the next bull market. This is the next bull market. This is nothing more than just an over short squeeze, nothing more than just it zeroing out in its up and down fashion like this. And my call for SoFi, as SoFi did go bankrupt, you're going to continue to zero out in SoFi, and you need to keep your money out of here unless you're just trying to minute play this on little pumps like this, because if you try to get into that now, you're going to get sliced, hammered, and fleeced, and you need to be aware of that. The same thing with CLO. I still remember this fucking pile of garbage. I took so much shit telling you this was a pile. CLO. I said CLO was a pile of garbage. Go look at them, all them videos I used to make back then, and it was at the own apparel to my own channel, because I told you this coin would fucking zero out too, and this thing's well on its way to zeroing out. CELO will never come back to its $10. CELO will never come back to its $2. CELO will go down below $1. Like, subscribe, and share for the cold, hard facts, the cold, hard truth from old Vincenzo, shooting you straight like Shooter McGavin on this 4th of July holiday. Peace and love on the birth of this great nation.